We have two types of shortening in the body. 1. Anatomical shortening. This happens when one leg is actually shorter due to bone structure asymmetry, which can be caused by genetic factors, previous surgeries, car accidents, or other similar reasons. If someone's leg has been shorter from the start, we cannot fix it, but we can use a show tape to balance things out. 2. Physiological shortening. This is more common and is all about muscle tension. The psoas iliacus and other muscles can pull the hip back, causing a slight leg shortening. It's a withdrawal reflex linked to stress, and there are 4 types. Spontaneous stress. It occurs in quick, fleeting moments like when a baseball player dodges a ball. If we measure the shortening at the exact instant, it would be only a few millimeters and last less than a second. This type of shortening is so subtle that it's practically imperceptible and doesn't interfere with the scanning procedure. Chronic stress. It is like that constant worry about whether you left the water tap running, locked the door, or forgot something important. This ongoing anxiety, whether in the client or even the biomagnetist, can subtly influence the scanning procedure, leading to minor shortenings of less than 1 centimeter. To avoid false positives, it's always a good idea to start the session with relaxation techniques to help everyone stay calm and focused. Acute stress. This happens in high-intensity situations, like when someone experiences a traumatic car accident. This kind of stress can cause a significant shortening up to 3 centimeters due to the body's instinctive reaction to danger. You have probably heard the saying, in serious accidents, only one shoe comes off. What's really happening is the motor cortex and the spinal cord trigger an involuntary response, causing the body to tense up as a protective mechanism. This shortening can last for days until the person feels safe and their body relaxes. To correct this, we apply the positive magnet near the insertion of the psoas iliacus muscle close to the kidney on the shortened side, and the negative magnet on the opposite parotofrontal area, which controls movement in the opposite leg. We recommend keeping the magnets in place during the session and guiding the client through a relaxation process to ensure effectiveness. Chronic acute stress. It occurs in situations like young men enduring ongoing bullying at the school. This type of stress is intense, persistent, and deeply rooted, often lasting for extended periods. Even with the use of magnets and relaxation techniques, the feet may not fully return to their normal state. True resolution often requires a psychological rehabilitation process to address the underlying emotional and mental strain. In cases of chronic acute stress or anatomical leg shortening, we use a practical approach, placing tape on the shoes, and this helps us better identify and differentiate the shortenings during the session. Now let's talk about an interesting pattern. Shortenings must occur on the right side. Why? It's the same reason most people are right-handed. The left hemisphere of the brain, which controls the right side of the body, is typically more dominant in motor and cognitive functions. However, there are exceptions. Variations in the scanning procedure can happen in cases of psychiatric disorders, neurological conditions, or even natural neurophysiological differences. Previously, our approach involving flipping the polarity of the magnet to first induce shortening and then correct it using the opposite polarity at the most appropriate resonance point. To make things simpler and less confusing for students, we now recommend using double polarity on both points when a typical shortening occurs. This approach covers all possibilities and helps avoid uncertainty. If you'd like to know more about biomagnetism, make sure to follow me on all my social media channels. Thank you and see you soon.